I've never asked you this on the record, and I think it kind of bears a conversation because it's right around this whole idea of how do you repeat success. A decade ago, Tiger Woods was almost unbeatable, right? It seems like every time he would step up, on a Sunday round, he knew that he could win. What, in your eyes, as an outsider, even with insider information, what is the biggest difference between Tiger 10 years ago and the guy who's, doing everything he can to get back in the game today?
Well, back then, Tiger was Tiger.
What did
Tiger
you see there? What was Tiger?
Well,
What does it mean to be Tiger?
Well, it isn't what I saw; it's what he saw. Tiger was completely immersed in the persona that was created, and he rode that motivation and inspiration and momentum all the way. That character of Tiger Woods was the vehicle that took him to the top. When there is a chink in the armor, for whatever reason, self-doubt creeps in, and a person drops from immortality to becoming mortal. It's all in the mind. The Tiger's talent didn't go away. Sure, there was injuries, and that's obviously a factor. But Tiger knows how to play, and his understanding of how to play is superior to anyone in the game. How to play. Tiger understands the game better than everyone. That was a large reason for the wins. The other part of the wins was that, in my opinion, those who played against Tiger during his prime years felt the persona of Tiger too. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So they were out of their element because they felt like they needed to hit perfect shots. They forced the issue, and down the stretch, they sort of fell away, leaving. It goes back to what we said earlier, that it isn't what's there, it's what's left. And Tiger was, golf is largely a game of attrition. And Jack played the same way. Jack Nicklaus did the same thing. He was the last one standing. So Tiger plays very much in a Eastern Zen style of play, and so did Jack. And going back to the topic of greatness, I think that is a running thread amongst individuals who become great, is that they understand how things come to them. They don't force things and they don't chase things. They become attractors of things. And no, I didn't say anything about the law of attraction. They understand how the game works, and they try to achieve more by doing less. It is very, very much the opposite of the Western culture. Mm-hmm. It's very Eastern. You'll have Jason Day, for instance, ask Tiger Woods, Tiger, how is it that I win? And Tiger will give him sort of an abstract answer, and Jason will get upset and say, well, why can't you just tell me straight out? And that's exactly the point, is that there is no straight out. There's no recipe. It's the color of wind. It's feeling things between your fingers. It's nuance. It's touch and feel. It's sensitivity. It's art. It isn't science. It isn't method.
If somebody comes to you tomorrow, let's say a leader of an organization who's just had a record year in whether it's performance, their stock, whatever, and they come to you and they say, hey, heading into this next year, we're deathly afraid to not fall on our face. What can we do to keep this growth going? How do you respond?
Well, they're looking in the wrong place, and they're asking the wrong question. Anything that you do out of fear will fail.
What's a better question?
Fear is a great motivator. There's no doubt about it. But that motivation is best spent examining the holes in one's game as opposed to trying to improve one's game. Because if you remove the holes, greatness happens by itself. So it really becomes, once again, there are no business problems, right? There are only human problems. So the game begins. The game is to understand the game within the game. So it is to understand, what is it that I do not understand? Where are the deficiencies in my 360-degree understanding of my business, and how could I understand it better? What are the beliefs that I have that are causing me problems? It is those qualitative questions, as opposed to an alarmist sort of, I need to know what to do in order to get a certain. It's none of that. That's very common thinking. That isn't greatness. Greatness is very soft and very deep and very nuanced and very incisive. It is an examination. It is a desire to know, as opposed to a compulsion to do.